That's it. We're live, bruh. Just adjust that. No fear, Jake is here. Whoever said I'm late. Alrighty. So how's everybody doing? It's been a while since we've done one of these, so I guess with all that being said, we're going to wait for some people to come in here, and then for now I'm going to go ahead and do the intro. So what's going on, guys? I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. Welcome back to another episode of Lawnfires, where the fires are hot, the lawns are green, and the questions are engaging. So not really too much not really anything special going on in this episode, really. It's just a little welcome back. You guys know I haven't done one of these in a while, and part of it is just because of my schedule, right? I work, I cut lawns Monday to Friday. I do about 2 or 3 a day, and then before that I have to go to school for 8 hours, so it really toys a lot with my time. So, and it's also been tough to find time to do these over the summer because of how hot it's been, right? Like there's nights where I've wanted to do lawn fires, but I just haven't been able to because of how hot it is, right? It's just not logical to do it. But tonight just happens to be one of those nights where it's still a little warm outside, but it's just perfect for a fire. In fact, as the sun goes down, it feels like it's going to get a little cooler, and this fire is going to become more of a necessity through the night. So I just figured I would go ahead and just go ahead and say that. So with all that being said, let's get into what really matters about the show, and that is you guys and your questions. I will. Move the camera closer. Here. The problem is I want to move the camera closer, but I don't want it to get too hot. That's the problem with trying to do this shot, is that I don't want the heat to get to it. But I guess we can do that. I gotta listen to my moderator. My moderator knows his stuff. All right. Aiden, can you hear me okay, brother? Moderator, fellow moderator, can you hear me? All right. I just want to make sure that you guys can see and hear me. Shot looks good. Just zoom in a bit. All right, awesome. So, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Lawnfires. For those of you guys who are new here, basically what this is it's a live show that I do live every Friday night. At least I was doing it for a while, but then summer kicked in. Where are you going?
I don't want to get in the middle of your thing.
Oh, that's fine.
But here's his sexy neighbor.
Oh my God. Hopefully she'll come around more tonight. I'm actually in a different location tonight. So you guys know I shoot in my driveway on the regular lead, but I'm actually here at my neighbor's house because my driveway is packed with cars right now. My dad's in the middle of doing a little DIY project in the basement, putting up a wall for my dad's girlfriend's daughter. For his girlfriend's daughter, so that she can have a little bit of privacy, because when she moved in, the room we gave her, we were able to enclose it, but we didn't have a proper wall to do that. So he's been spending all day building a wall, creating a proper room, so she can have her own privacy. So that's been taking a majority of the day, and because of that, he invited some friends over that have some expertise in carpenting, and because of that, there's really no room in the driveway to shoot. So I'm over here at my neighbor's house, 2 houses down. Maybe he'll come around tonight, maybe he won't. We'll see how long I'm on here. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out for those of you guys who are watching, that I am in a different location tonight. All right. Ollie Sticker, you don't know what hot is. It's been 100 plus here in North Texas for 2 weeks. Ollie, I'm up for the challenge. So if you ever want to invite me down to Texas, hey man, I'm all here. Ryan Sabo. Aiden, is your brother messing with the chat? That's pretty funny. I can hear you very well tonight. Awesome. Florida Lawns. What's up, brother? How you doing? Man, I hate when I approach the chat and there's like no questions in here. But the view is nice. So I guess before we go any further, let me go ahead and talk about the current state of lawns right now. So we're at a point right now, you know, we're nearing the end of summer. Things are starting to pick back up, but not very much yet. In fact, we're getting a little tease of what Mother Nature wants to give us. We're getting a little bit of rain days here and there, but nothing crazy. It drizzles for like 5 minutes and then it's gone. So it's been a very teasing month. And then along with that, you know, a lot of lawns, they're coming out of dormancy, but they're still a long ways away from being completely out. And as far as what we're going to do going forward, again, I'm just going to continue watering. And then in a couple of weeks, we're actually going to be starting a new project. You heard me mention it on my video last week, and we're actually going to be doing 2 fall lawn care projects, my house and the LCN Lawn Revival. And I'm just going to tell you straight up, we're doing a seeding, and this weekend's video I think is going to be really helpful for that, because what I'm doing is I'm setting the stage. I'm getting the seed bed ready, getting it, you know what I'm saying, building it to the best of its ability so that when I do come in and do my seeding in my applications, I will be able to reap those rewards and get the best and get that biggest return out of my investment. I hope that makes sense. Come on, lad, getting late here in England. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Sorry I was late. Chat from earlier. Nick, I actually just started this week. I just got done with the first week over there. Oh, is it starting to buffer? Come on. It's probably overheating. Let me see. Is it still glitching? Come on. Here, let's turn it around. There we go. We got it back somewhat. Here we go. All right, it's back. There. How you doing?
Been abandoned for about a year.
All righty. You get your hands on some X-Green. Grace, no, I haven't just yet. In fact, I still have yet to contact Matt and ask him, what the heck, dude? You said you were going to send me all this product. I haven't gotten it yet. It's almost the end of the year. Come on, brother. I'm waiting on the product. How many pounds of nitrogen do you aim for a lawn? I heard 4 is the right target. Zim, I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, there's a different approach there. And the reason, and I've actually learned this from talking to my buddy John over at Green County. Him and I, we've been working together now for well over a year and a half. And one of the things that he was educating me on is why they recommend applying nitrogen that high. And the reason they do that is because they're thinking of normal situations, right? And they're thinking of homeowner situations. And typically what homeowners do, especially the ones who don't know any better, is when they mow their lawn, they like to bag the clippings and take away all of the nutrients that are in a different form at that point. They want to take away all of the nutrients that they've been applying. And because of that, what universities find is that in order to get results, to compensate for the mistake on the homeowner's end, the only way to get results is to put down more. Whereas if you're taking care of your lawn properly, like I talk about, you're following the big 3 cultural practices: mowing, fertilizing, watering. You're mowing frequently. You're mulching the grass blades back into the ground so that they can be recycled and they can utilize those nutrients for longer periods of time. Hence the reason they call it nitrogen extension, right? You know, we're extending the use of our nutrients that we put down, and then to extend that even further, we're putting down products like the Next RGS, the Next Aerate, Humic 12, the Microgreen, basically the biostimulant pack. That's really what it specializes in. And I'm kind of getting off topic here, but the idea being is that anything that you can do to extend the nutrient presence in your lawn, like mulching the clippings or fertilizing on a regular schedule, anytime you can do something like that, and also do it in a way where you're not giving the lawn so much in one application, then you know you're winning. Like a good example would be John's products, right? He recommends lower pounds of nitrogen, but to compensate for those lower pounds, he's thinking of ways that he could extend he could extend the availability of that product. And the way he does it is by implementing sugars such as humic acid, fulvic acid, sea kelp, all of that good stuff. And when you're putting that in there, you're getting more out of less. It goes back to that paradox that less is more. So the idea is that there's not really a set recommendation for nitrogen that you have to put down, but you just have to look at how you're caring for your lawn, right? If you're bagging your clippings and taking it away, then yeah, you're probably going to want to put more. But if you've been taking care of your lawn properly, you've been mulching it, you've been mowing it regularly, putting those nutrients back into the ground, then maybe you want to give the lawn about a quarter to a half pound. As we come into the fall here, maybe closer to that half pound range. And you can do that with products like the 1801 Green Punch, the Carbon X product that all the big guys are selling nowadays, and Milorganite, right? Really any fertilizer, synthetic or organic. The idea being is that we don't want to overdo it because we don't have to, right? But now once we do get into a time of the year in the fall where the temperatures get cooler, the days are getting shorter, then that's a time where we want to start pushing it even more. Maybe very well. How's the liquid fertilizer going? Chris asked. Chris, it's going really good. In fact, I'm actually going to show you guys my lawn tomorrow, and it looks really green. Now, there are a couple of stress areas in there, like that one big spot I showed you guys. It's stressing out a lot, and I think part of that has to do with the fact that not only my irrigation was off that one day, but the fact that while my lawn looks good, it's still under the slightest bit of stress because of how hot and dry it's been. I hope that makes sense, right? And I guess the only way I could fix that is to put more water on it. So we'll have to test that a little bit later. But to be honest with you guys, I'm not really worried about it because we're nearing aeration overseed time for my lawn. So it's going to be cool to see what's going to happen as I thicken the lawn up culturally by adding in some new cultivars, some newer, more advanced cultivars of my grass types. So that's going to be interesting. Hope you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you stay tuned for that coming up in about 2 weeks. As well as, in the meantime, content coming up this week and next week showing you guys how I'm going to prepare for that process. I've seen your trip to Florida. How did you like the turf and beaches? Florida lawns, I love the turf down there. I mean, I guess that's easy for every, new Florida visitor to say. I mean, I've been to Florida a couple times. Or recently, not only recently, but I actually went back in February for Lawn Ecology Summit. And I guess it's easy for me to say I love your grass types because they're different from what I see up here on a day-to-day basis. So I guess for now I could say I love your grass types. I love that they're different down there. I love how they feel on your feet. I guess it's just nice to go to a different place and put your feet in grass somewhere and see how it feels. And along with that, I love the beaches, dude. I could spend a week down there. The beaches are just so beautiful. The only thing I don't like, though, because I live in Indiana and I'm used to the lakes, is the salt water. I'm not a big fan of the salt water. When it gets in my mouth, it dries up. Trust me, any first-time visitor knows that. As much as you try to stay away from that happening, it happens to you all the time. The water just ends up in your mouth, and you're just making these faces the entire time. It's just ruining the experience. But after a while, get used to it, and the beaches turned out to be really fun down there. Depends on square feet. Lambert 17, what's up, Jake? Finally caught the live show again. Awesome, brother. Welcome to the show. Sandman's Dreamland, you're good here. Awesome. Coming in clear. That's great. Do you have to deal with Virginia buttonweed in your lawns? I think that's what it's called. Brian Smith, I can't speak on that 100% because I don't know. It's just not something I'm certain about. Because really the only lawn I'm looking at is my lawn as well as a couple neighboring lawns, so I really don't have a grasp of the weeds I'm dealing with. But what I would recommend to you guys is to get on a website called UCIPM. In fact, Aiden, my moderator, he will put this link in the in the chat for you. What it is it's a weed identification. It takes you through. It'll show you guys, okay, and then it'll ask you a series of questions like, is the weed membranous? Does it have fringe of hairs? And then from there you can answer the questions. And then once you get to the end of the questionnaire, hopefully you'll be able to narrow it down to the weed that you're seeing specifically. So to ask, so I think that's a really good idea, because that resource, they really have it together. Whereas me, someone who observes lawns, doesn't really know all of the weeds. It's a good idea. You just shouldn't take my word for it. I recommend you look at the resource. Should I use a pull behind aerator? Should I use a pull behind aerator or pay for it to be professionally done before I overseed? Well, Max, you can do whatever you want, but honestly, I don't even recommend renting aerators anymore. In fact, I'm all about the liquid aeration from Greene County nowadays. Dude, I love that product. And I know what you're going to say, right? Jake, you're selling snake oil. Jake, you have to pay $105 for a jug as opposed to $80 to rent an aerator for 4 hours. Well, what I want you guys to think about is that the next products are a lofty investment. But you got to realize they're not single-use products, right? When you buy them, especially when you buy the 5-gallon jugs or the 2.5 or the 1 gallon, you got to remember that when you're buying those based on your square footage, and when you buy those, you're not only buying them for one application, you're buying them for like 10 applications that could be done in the matter of 2 years. So you got to realize that you got to kind of weigh out the options, right? I'm going to spend $20 more on a jug of aerate, but if I have a 5,000 square foot lawn, it's going to last me a couple of applications throughout the year, as opposed to renting an aerator for $80. I can only use that for the 4 hours that I have it that day, unless I want to rent it again and spend another $80. So I hope this is starting to make sense here. Just throwing it out there. You don't have to do it. There's, everybody has their options. Everybody has what they like and hate. But I just figured I'd throw that out there if you're looking to save a little bit of money in the long run. I'm a senior this year, and you've already done with school. You out last year. Hang on a second. I'm a senior this year, and you've already done with school, and you're already done with school. And this last year was your last year, wasn't it? And were you a senior? Sindernick, I am currently a senior right now. I'm in my last year. After this year, I'm done. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Jason Finley, hey Jake, have had a lot of rainfall here in Philly. Grass has been looking awesome, but now I'm getting a lot of crabgrass, and temps have been above 85. Temps have been above 85 and humid over a month now. Help. Hang on. Been getting a lot of crabgrass. Temps have been above 85, humid over a month now. Help. Well, again, if you're having any problems with crabgrass, your best bet would be to use a professional quality product called Conclorac. In fact, Aiden, would you mind putting would you mind putting a link to the Conclorac product in the chat here? I sent that to you, so go ahead and put that in here. You can get that off of domyown.com, and typically what I would do is I'd recommend to you a typical 3-way you can get at the store, but I'm not going to do that because the crabgrass at this point is so mature that even that lower concentrate of Conclorac isn't going to take care of it. So this higher concentrate I recommend to you. Aiden, if you could put that link in there, I'd really appreciate it. What's your name? Finley, go check that out. And then as far as the humidity, if you're noticing any, just look at the lawn, right? If you're noticing any fungus starting to come in, then you can put down a fungicide. But at this time, I'm not really looking for a preventative, because at this point the fungus is showing itself, it's manifested itself, it's obvious. So what you want to do at this time is maybe get some propiconazole, another product you can get with the Conclorac from domyown.com. Aiden, please leave that link in the description below of the Conclorac and the propiconazole 14.3%. Aiden, hope you're getting that. I believe I left the links on there for you. It's propiconazole 14.3 and Conclorac 75DF. If you can leave those links in there, I'd appreciate it. But the idea being is that you want to You want to put those products down now. And again, if it's hot, just keep watering. There's not really much you could do. But again, I'm not really. If your lawn does look good, if it's looking green, if it's thick, if it's vigorous, if it's growing like normal, then I wouldn't even stress about it too much, knowing that seeding time is right around the corner. So I hope that answers your question. If you have any more, please leave them in the chat. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. What's the lifespan on the next products? Could you store them for years? Evan Williamson, I've only been working with them for a year and a half, and the only experience I have with that was leaving them in my garage over winter. So I guess if you want to know how long I've had my products for, I've had some jugs sitting in my garage for like a year and a half already, and so far they're doing great. In fact, there's been studies done at the Greene County Fertilizer Lab. I haven't heard about them personally, but I have been talking to a couple people over there, where they actually freeze the next products and thaw them out, and they test their efficacy. And from what I've been hearing, it doesn't seem to affect them all that bad. I mean, the products, they just seem to work through it, which is nice. But then again, don't take my word for that. I'm just speaking based on my experience, um, based on the products overwintering in my garage. They seem to be performing pretty well. So are you still power raking? Dude, I don't power rake. You should know that. I've been dropping the double dark this round. Awesome, dude. Send me some pictures when you get a chance, Les Swans. Stopping in to say, hey, RVA, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. If you have any questions, leave them down here. I'd be more than happy to answer them. Or wait a minute, RVA. I think you're a fellow lawn pro, correct? I've seen your channel a couple of times. I got to get on there. I got to see the current progression of your lawn. I haven't been on there in a while. That's something I'll have to do. What can I do about antidepressants in my water from the city, city or town before I water my lawn? Looks like it is in a. I have no idea what that means. Psychotic. Looks like it is psychotic all the time or something. I'll have to come back to that one. Shane Davis, have a very little crabgrass. Will hand pulling when I see it help for next year? Shane Davis, I have a question. How severe is the crabgrass? Is it like is the crabgrass like taking over your entire lawn? Is it taking over 50%, 25%? Just give me a number. Like how bad is it? On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad do you think it is? 1 being not that bad, 2, 3 being it's showing itself, but it's not too bad to a point where it's going to take over the lawn, and 7 to 10 being like, hey, it's taking over the lawn. I really need to do something about it right away. So leave me a number of how you would rate it, and then I can recommend some strategies to you going forward. You only sent me the file with the view only rights. Oh man. I'll have to, listen. Man. Aiden, I'm so sorry about that, brother. You sent me the file with view only rights. I need edit rights to be able to copy. Here, let me see if I can do that from here real quick. Excuse me, guys. I gotta get my moderator situated. That's what happens when you try to do this at the last minute like I do. I don't really plan much. I'm sure you guys know that. Here, let me, oh. Let me download this. There's no Google Docs on this thing. Let me see if I can help my boy Aiden out here. See if I can install this. We'll have to mess with that later. Aiden, I'm sorry, guys. So for the affiliate links, we'll have to get those situated another time. Man! Listen, guys, I'm so sorry about that. I will have to get that situated for next week. So, Aiden, um, wait a minute, hang on a second. Maybe there's something I could do. In the meantime, let me answer some questions here. Let me try and multitask. This ought to be interesting, right? Let's put on a little show for you guys. What's your opinion on top dressing with sand? Alex, I can't speak on it because it's not something that I do on the regular. But what I do recommend is you uh, go over and watch my buddy Connor Ward, because what his channel's about is how he maintains his lawn at lower than average levels. Like he real mows it and everything. It's KBG lawn, so cool season lawn. For those of you guys who are wondering, very similar to all of us. Leave your comment about a link in the description after the stream. I will post links. Oh, good idea, Aiden. That's a really great idea. So, guys, if you want links, Aiden, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. If you guys are looking for the links that I mentioned in this video, make sure that you look at the in the comments section below the description, and then that way you can, like for instance, link to propiconazole. That's a good idea. We'll have to. It won't be like this all the time, but just for now, because I can't get them on here. Link to propiconazole and conclorac. Something like that. So from there, I'll start putting the comments in there, and then actually, I'll just go through them later. So if you guys have any requests for links, just please leave them in the chat, and I will go back and look at them after the stream is over, and I will put comments in the description for my moderator, saying, hey, leave a link to this, leave a link to that for so-and-so, and then that way we can get it situated. But I just want to apologize for the inconvenience. I tend to have the links ready while I'm streaming, but that's just not the case tonight. This is actually a new thing I'm trying, so you have to stay tuned for next week. I apologize. But yeah, back to your question, Alex Buchanan. Go check out my buddy Connor Ward. Connor Ward on YouTube, CONNARWARD. His YouTube channel is about how he keeps his lawn manicured really low, and in the process, he actually has to top dress it once a year with sand. So just go on the internet, search up Connor Ward sand top dressing. His video should come up. Really good stuff over there. Go check it out. It's like a 3 a few spots. I don't even know what that means. I'm not even going to acknowledge that. Nashin Culbertson, have you used or seen the new natural lawn fertilizer from Menards? I've seen it, but I haven't used it. So that's something we'll have to do later on. But I don't plan on using it anytime soon because I already have my products pre-selected for my fall lawn care here. But I might consider using them at my bigger project lawn down the street here that I did with Alan last year, because I'm going to try and get back there too and do some more applications as well. My neighbor scalped my domination line. Guess he should just watch her channel and not be such a hater. I appreciate that. Well, look at it this way. At least the other 90% of your lawn is dominating, right? That's how I look at it. Like when my neighbor cuts his lawn, especially right now, it's all brown, and then the line where his yard ends and mine begins, you could see like drastic difference. And mine's like double dark blue green, while his is like dried up and brown and dormant, all sorts of things, right? So just know that there's still hope and that you can get to come back, no problem. Aiden, thank you for putting the link to Connor Ward's video. So whoever asked me that, Alex Buchanan, go check the link at the bottom of the chat that my moderator left. Aiden, Azalon and Landscaping, he left that in there. Go check that link out. That'll take you to the video I talked about with Connor Ward and how he top dresses his lawn. Swing by Pine Ridge. I'd like your opinion on my idea of my upcoming renovation. Just spray the Roundup and then I'll hardly rake. Level, install irrigation, level seed, and fert. I'll have to come over there and look at it one of these days. Just spray the Roundup, then I'll hardly rake. Hardly rake, that's a new term for me. I'll have to look at that. Level, install irrigation system. Yeah, dude, listen. Lawn renovation, that's like the grand scheme. I'm so glad you're putting an irrigation system in. All I can recommend to you from what I've been seeing with my above ground irrigation is that when you do put irrigation in, make sure you have as much head-to-head coverage as possible. This is something I learned the hard way when I put my irrigation system in for the first time. You guys remember the initial video I did on that, which by the way, Aiden, if you could link to that, I'd appreciate it. My DIY irrigation system, the first video I did on it. One mistake I made in there, it wasn't so much a mistake, but the fact that I recommended only slight overlap when with sprinkler head-to-head coverage as opposed to 100% head-to-head coverage. What I've come to find is that when I do that, I get a lot. I'm leaving areas in my lawn, specifically the areas that are near the edges that get hot. I'm making those areas more vulnerable to drying out. So if you're looking to avoid dry spots, I highly recommend head-to-head coverage for as much as you can get away with it. You need an in-ground irrigation system, Jake. I beg to differ for now. One first shot. I want to put one in, but I don't want to put one in right now because my lawn is looking really good. I just want to keep watering it like that for now. But maybe next year, if I can, if I can obtain a couple more resources, then we can probably get in the habit of putting an irrigation system in. But for now, can't do it. Just going to wait till next year and see what opportunities present themselves to me later in my YouTube journey. Sorry, one more question. No, it's all good. What's your favorite lawnmower to use? Well, this isn't really something I can speak on for a lot of the newer models because I've only owned 3 mowers in my lifetime. In fact, 3 of them I currently have in my garage right now. I love my Toro recycler. I love that thing since day one, but that's my personal opinion. I've liked that because I've been using it since day one, so I've kind of developed some techniques on how to use it more efficiently. Hey, let me just check and see if anything came in. Oh, no, we're good. Okay, so I have developed some better techniques over the years using that mower as it is a front wheel drive, right? It's just as time goes on, you kind of develop a little bit of a technique to get better with your equipment. And I'm finding the same thing to be true with other pieces of equipment, like my snapper high vac and my John Deere L120 or whatever, right? What I'm coming to find with those is that the more I use them, the more I become familiar with them. And it's the same with you guys. Like once you use a mower for the first time and you start to learn how that mower works, I want you guys to realize that it's all about what's comfortable, right? Just buy a mower that's comfortable. In fact, any YouTuber on here will tell you that. If you want a mower, if you want comfort while you're mowing, just get a good mower. Like Toro Super Recycler, if that's what you want, go get it. Honda HRX 217, great mower, go get it. Toro Recycler, Smart Stow, go get it, right? Good mowers, but the idea is not only to make it comfortable, the idea is not only to be comfortable, but you also want quality. So anytime you could find something that's in between that spectrum of quality and comfort, then you're in the clear. Like I talk about, when you buy a mower, make sure you buy one that has a deep deck and that can mulch so that you can, keep those clippings under there for longer times and put them back into the ground so you can recycle those nutrients. I hope that makes sense. Now let's get back into the chat. Sorry I was blocking the fire there. I'm actually going for this new look. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm starting to wear caps backwards, and yeah, pretty cool. Just checking myself out. That's all that was. All right. I got to get my mow done. Love your videos. Keep it up, man. Evan, glad I could help you tonight. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Eric, what's up, brother? Welcome back. Thank you. I have a couple orbit sprinklers you could have. I have a couple of sprinklers you could have. Going to be installing. Oh, really? Matt, absolutely, dude. Hey, I would love those orbits. I'll be installing an MB rotator system, yard with gouge, truck on the street, maroon and white brick house. Hey, Matt, I have an idea. Listen, I'm gonna put my email here in the chat. Email me as soon as you can. Right now, once this is over, email me and we can maybe meet up somewhere and you can give me the sprinklers because I'll gladly take those off your hands because I do have some ideas to expand my system into areas around the house because like I said, I'm not looking to put an in-ground system in. I'm not looking to rip my lawn up to that big of an extreme just yet. But when the time does come, I probably will put an irrigation system in. Or if I'm not living at this house much longer, which I really don't know, you know, I could be moving next year for all I know. If I do move, I can assure you my new lawn will have an irrigation system, and I will make sure of that. But for those of you guys who are watching saying I need an irrigation system, I don't think it makes sense to rip my lawn up right now.
Well, let's wait for Mark and the guys. They're finishing up the last night shed.
What?
They're finishing up the last night shed.
No, I want to go with them. He's not on that.
Huh?
What do you mean we're leaving? We go separately?
No, with them. You don't want to go with them?
Yes, I thought you said you wanted to
No,
separate.
I said let's wait for them. They're
I'm in my
finishing up.
neighbor's driveway. Don't buy Honda HR, worst cut ever. Mine is a couple months old and Honda is issuing a refund. Upgrade to HRX, but I'd rather
They're almost done.
have an SR Time
Oh,
Master.
that damn wood. I don't want
Um,
to smell like it.
Like I said, personal preference. Again, the idea is just to have a deep deck and something that feels comfortable. Life is so much easier with an in-ground sprinkler system. I agree with you, but I'm not ripping my lawn up. Ain't happening. All right, ain't happening. Done. Sandman's Dreamland. I felt the same way, Jake. Why fix something if it's not broken? I agree with you. That's right. If it works for me, go with it. That's how I feel about this. I just don't need to rip my lawn up right now. Plus, I don't need to irrigate my entire lawn right now. It's not a necessity. I only water my front yard. What's your thoughts on chicken manure? Anthony, you're asking the wrong guy. I am not a scientist by any means. I have no idea. But what I can tell you from what I've heard, is they use it in Carbonex, right? And it gives good carbon material to the soil, so that's it. So, if anything, I promise you it's beneficial. But I wouldn't go too over the border and get pure chicken manure. I'm not that crazy, but I would get products like Carbonex that have it mixed in there, like the biochar, right? The biochar, the plant material, and then you have like the chicken manure in there to help to help add more of that carbon to the soil. If you did install irrigation, now is the time since you can overseed and repair the damage, and it will give you tons of content on your channel, planning, installation, setup, lawn repair, etc. Lambert, I love the idea, but I can't put an irrigation system in. Silverback's not willing to do it. As much as I ask him about it, he's not willing to put an irrigation system in. And he told me, hey Jake, the only way we're gonna do it is if we rip the lawn up. And I don't want to do that right now. I just want to keep experimenting, and plus, I'm having a lot of fun watering that little section with my system. It's a lot of fun to set it up. That's all I could say. I don't feel like putting a system in right now. Plus, like I said, Silverback won't even let me do it. But maybe a couple of years down the road. I'm telling you guys, not now, but eventually I will put a system in. Plus, you don't have to worry about content, because I got tons coming for you. I got tons. Okay. Moose Knuckles 604. What's up, brother? How you doing? Welcome to the show. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat, and I will answer them for you. Anything else? We still got a little bit of time. Let's kill the time. I'm going to put some more wood on this fire.
So do I. I don't want yet. Let's get it done. I don't like anybody touching my feet. I do my own thing.
I don't mind, but I don't know.
I know. I'm right. Bubba. Porky. Mower.
Just call him Porky.
Porky. He loves mom. He loves mom. I know, isn't that crazy? So are all my other cats. Sassy would sit right by the front door. She was nervous.
That's
Junior,
more
I
like
had
it.
to put on a leash 'cause he was
Now it
wrong.
feels nice and warm.
When I said I got a free house
Yeah,
player
you gotta
for
get a
replacing.
collar.
Stoke that fire. That's right, brother. How's the time, dude? I've got 7 video.
Always had collars on my
Now's the time, dude. I've got 7 video ideas to start. That's right, brother.
So I have to name an address.
Look up Lowe's.
Mine do. Mine always put up.
Look at that fire. Look at that fire roaring. That's why we do this show. Not only to answer your questions, but to make it nice. Quick rundown of a list of products to get it down before and after overseeding. Andre Moraes, I'm actually going to be releasing a video all about that tomorrow, and it's going to be utilizing products from the Greene County Next Line. As far as products to get down, so I'm going to get more in detail on this tomorrow, but I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a brief answer here tonight. And then, I encourage you to go check out the video coming out this Monday, all about overseed prep. And again, I'm going to do that utilizing the next products. You want to put down products that are going to help build the quality of the soil. So the biostimulant pack, for instance, right? You got microgreen, RGS, aerate, and humic 12. When you put those products down, I'm just going to sum it up right now. You're helping build the quality of the soil to make a better bed for your seed. And you want to do that about a couple of weeks in advance. Again, if you want to hear more details, tune in Monday in the morning to see the video come out. I will be talking all about overseed prep for both of my project lawns over here. Stay tuned. Is it cold there? No, it's not. I mean, it's actually been pretty hot today, a little humid, but as the sun's going down, it's starting to get a little cooler, so I'm starting to scoot a little closer to the fire. Who's bringing marshmallows? I don't know. You know what? We gotta get some marshmallows over here. This fire turned out pretty nice. Well, let's see. Let's see these kids who are coming by. Yeah. Jake, I live in northern Indiana, Mishawaka. Should I kill crabgrass now or should I forget it? Tom Bianco, I need to know specifically, what are you dealing with? Do you have like a severe crabgrass takeover, or is it just little crabgrass plants here and there? Because if it's not that severe, I would say not treat it. But if it's really severe, then I wouldn't even mess with it. I would just let it go through the winter. I would seed the lawn, let it go through the winter, get it pre-emergent down, push the existing grass that's there, and you should be fine. But if you don't have that much there, again, I wouldn't worry about it. In fact, if you only have a little bit, your best bet would be conclorac. Put down conclorac. And I would link that to you right now, but me and my moderator, we're still getting things worked out. So what I'm going to do, Tom, is I'm going to leave a comment in the description of this. I'm going to leave a comment below this live feed here, and I'm going to leave it so that you and whoever else asks me a question, I'm going to say, here, Tom, here's the link on conclorac, right? 75DF, whatever, right? Just stay tuned. Sometime after the show, I will get the links down there. But yeah, Tom, I need to know what you're dealing with. So if it's little, like I said, conclorac would be your way to go. Mix that up in a little hand can sprayer. Walk the lawn, spraying selectively where you see weeds and not where you don't. And also, it also goes without saying, make sure that you wear your PPE, which is eye protection, rubber gloves. Rubber gloves. My favorite gloves personally are going to be from my guys over at Golden Protective Services. They make the black diesel gloves. They're kind of like rubber gloves, but what's nice about them is that they're so durable. They take durability to the next level. So if you're looking for a really good quality rubber glove to wear when you have to spray herbicides, pesticides, anything of that nature, please look at the link below this video. As I do have a couple of links down there. I have some on Sprayers Plus, and I have ones on Big Sprinkler, Gold Protective Services. Go look in the description below if you want to get some of those black diesel gloves by Golden Protective to take your PPE up a notch. Look in that link in the description below. Click the link, and you'll get 5% off your purchase. You might be a pyro. I guess you could say that. A little bit of a pyro. That's what's so nice about this show, though, is not only is the scenery nice, but I get to bring out my inner pyro and not get in trouble for it, right? Is it possible to go from a high cut to a low cut using only the next products, no mechanical dethatch or aeration? I guess it could be possible, but I've never attempted it, so I don't know. Your best bet would be to go ask John over at Green County, which isn't hard to do. Just email him at answers@lawncology.com and he'll help you out. As well as Connor Ward. Connor Ward's a great resource if you're looking to maintain your KBG cool season grass at low heights and what's involved there. But again, he's more on the traditional mechanical maintenance side of it. But I'm sure that once you get your lawn down to a certain height and you treat it with the next products over time, you can start to build a good ecosystem for that shortcut grass. So don't take my word for it, but I'm telling you, there is a chance. They just sent me a box of those gloves. Wore a pair today. They are awesome. Yes, Ace, they are awesome gloves. I love them. And again, what's nice about them is that they are super durable. Make sure everything's good. All right. Chat is looking good. I'm gonna wear backwards caps more often. All right. How often do you change the oil in your mower? Good question. I'd say about once a year, sometimes twice. Like, I just changed all the oil in my push mowers last fall, and I did it again in the spring. So I typically like to do it twice a year, but that's just me. I like my oil. I like my oil, as you Southern people would say, oil. I like my oil to be fresh. Oh man, when's my JTLK shirt coming, dude? I still gotta make them. I still gotta make them. That's a winter project though, Ace. Is getting some t-shirts made and getting some merchandise out there. You see, I have made a couple of t-shirts that originally I was going to give to some other YouTubers, but then I just come to find after wearing a prototype myself that the fabric just isn't, it's just not there, right? Like your t-shirt on the other hand, dude, your t-shirt is top notch, dude. Aiden, I love the feel of it. It's comfortable. The fabric's nice. By the way, after this, I'm going to have to talk to you a little bit more about this. What fabric did you choose? Because I like this fabric. It's comfortable. I work in this shirt all the time, and it's nice. I'd like to make some for myself. So what up, Jake? Are you going to be a senior this year? Yes, I am. I'm very excited about that because after high school, I couldn't be more happier to have freedom.
It's almost like a mind thing, but I have to have them with me. Toby, hey, what? You know what? You're getting in the dirt, and then you go in the house and get my house over. Oh my God.
All right, chat's pretty quiet. Fire's doing good. Anything I want to tell you guys about? Let me see here.
Are you being bad?
You're not bad. Tim is the best boy.
7 people? That's all that's in here? I've got even better shirts out now. Logos hold better. I'll send you one. Talk later. Yeah, we'll do that.
Put him on the front porch and he'd sit there and taste the snow. He'd be like, no, come on, Mama's got to get ready. I got to go potty. Get on. We got to go. Come on. I have no.
Can you do more mowing bits? Cole Crawford, there's going to be some mowing in this week's video, so I'm sure you'll like that. But one thing I need to do, and I've been slacking on this for a couple of years now. I need to incorporate my business more in these videos, right? Like I still want to continue educating the DIYers out there, but I need to start incorporating more of my business into it. And whether that's making separate videos in the middle of the week, or maybe showing you guys some B-roll of my company and some of the work I'm doing, because I get so many questions all the time about my business, and I just haven't been showing a lot of that lately because I've been so focused on the DIYers. But I need to start making more videos about that. 60% cotton, 40% clay, so super percent super soft. What's in Milorganite? Joe can't buy it here. What? Jason, that's a funny question. You know what? That reminds me of that scene from Step Brothers. You got to marry one, F one, kill one. Go. That was funny. Oh, you can't buy it here? Oh, basically, it's a biosolid. It's human crap. That's all it is.
What are you doing? Look at your vagina again, Sassy?
Jesus, Diana.
I love watching a cat take it back. It's hilarious.
That's my neighbor back there. I'm in her driveway tonight because my driveway's packed, in case you're wondering, with cars. Not so much anymore, but here comes my neighbor again. Yeah, gotta stay warm. Gotta keep that suntan. All right. About 8 o'clock. We'll go for a couple more minutes. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the chat. This actually turned out to be a good show. Are they single? That's funny. Fortunately, Jason, they're all taken. They all got wives, so I don't have to answer that question. Thank God for reality sometimes. How do you feel about tenacity? Well, there's a place for it, and there's not a place for it. But I think it serves a really good purpose. If your lawn is littered with crabgrass and you're looking to do a little bit of overseeding, it's an option for you. It's out there, so if you want to do it, it's available to you. Me, on the other hand, if I have even the slightest bit of crabgrass in my lawn, I just let it go. But if it gets to a point where it's out of control, tenacity would probably be a great way to go. But keep in mind that unlike other pre-emergents, which is why we always tell you it really boils down to two choices, overseeding or pre-emergent, it's because the residual isn't all that much. In fact, tenacity, I believe you get like, 3 to 6 weeks out of it, whereas a professional quality pre-emergent like prodiamine or dithiopyr, you're going to get about 4 to 6 months out of one application, as opposed to the tenacity, which again is 3 to 6 weeks, which means smaller intervals between applications. So if you do go with tenacity, which is a great product, I highly recommend it. It saves a lot of the hassle with killing weeds in the overseeding process. But keep in mind that because of the smaller residual, you have to apply more often. Make sense? I'm down in West Lafayette, Indiana. What's the best time to aerate and overseed the lawn? Well, the best time to do it, for you guys, I'd say mid-Indiana. I'm aiming for that first week of September. And the reason I say that is because this is typically the time when rain is going to start coming back into the forecast, the temperatures are going to start coming down, and the soil temperatures typically reach 70 around this time. But even if they don't, I'm still going to overseed this year because I've been irrigating the heck out of my lawn this year, so it'll be fine to overseed whenever, right? So that's the deal at my house. Will you be producing your own line of grass seed next season? Oh, Anthony J. Barton, I don't even know. I'm not even close. Probably not. I still have a lot to learn. But maybe, just maybe. not going to core aerate, used aerate and RGS all year. Want to overseed my lawn. Should I seed and cover with peat moss? My lawn is thick. If your lawn is thick, I wouldn't worry about it. Just overseed at the recommended rates, typically 3 to 4 pounds per thousand. Do that as an overseeding, and then what you can do is use the peat moss in the bare areas, right? I wouldn't necessarily do that. In fact, what I would do is if you have any bare areas in your lawn, I would actually, that's where I would use the peat moss, because it'll help with moisture retention and it'll help hold the things in place. What seed do you plan on using this year for overseeding? I plan on using a couple of different blends. We're going to be talking about them on the channel. Now, before I go any further, I want you guys to know that for both of the projects I'm going to be doing, the LCN Revival and My Lawn, they're both boutique level seed. They're both boutique seed. They're both boutique style seeds. I think you'll find a lot of interest in them. Keep up the good work, lad. 2 a.m. here in Crash. Cheerio. All right, brother. Take care, Alex. Thank you for being in the show, brother. Appreciate your dedication. Great show, Jake. Thanks for answering my question. No problem. Glad I can help you. All right, anything else? Oh, wait a minute. Are you going to use Carbon X next season? Chris, I actually have a sample sitting in my garage right now. We're going to use that in the fall project. Stay tuned. You down later or not? Yeah, man, let's talk. Can you do a vid review on Hydrotane? Yeah, I got to get some more first. Stay tuned.
Hey, Mark, you ready?
I'm gonna take a shower. I'm not cold.
Well, hurry up.
Did you tell Eric to let's go through?
Well, we're going. That's where we're going. Yeah.
All right, we get anything else before we go? All right. Well, I think this is a really great place to end it. I just want to say, hang on, we got one more coming in here. What would you do about Trivialis before nuking the whole lawn? Well, what I would do if the Trivialis got out of hand is I would just kill that one area. I would burn that area down, I'd burn that area out, and then I'd probably seed it later on. Or what you can do is you can dig the Poa Trivialis out, and then another section from your lawn, another healthy section that you're willing to donate from, maybe an area that doesn't get seen quite as often, take the grass from that area and plant it right in that area. So you're basically transplanting, if you will. That's all you're doing. What will you use for top dressing after you overseed? I'm not going to be using anything for top dressing. In fact, if anything, if I had any bare spots, I'd probably use some Patchmaster and peat moss. That's it.
I want to go.
It's one of my favorite holidays.
Yeah.
We'll make one of them. We'll make
As long as I don't have an exam.
Ever heard of KBG Texas Bluegrass Hybrid? No, I haven't. I'll have to look that up. All right, guys. So I think this is a. Hang on, we got one more. Pushing for irrigation. Why don't you just put your money together, buy it, and install and maintain it for the lawn care? All these guys pushing for irrigation. Why don't you all put your money together and install it? Put your fire pit on your lawn. Yeah, ain't gonna happen. All right, so this is going to be a really great place to end it. I just want to say a big thanks to all of you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm looking to get back into the weekly cycle of doing this every Friday night, and I might even start doing it a little bit later. You guys, I just want to apologize. I just want to say for all of you guys who have been following me on this journey of creating this show, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you guys, because this is really a lot of fun for me, just coming out here, being able to do this live stream and talk to you guys in real time, and also get some feedback from you guys about what I could be doing to better my lawn care about what I can do to better my lawn and landscape. So I just want to say a big thanks to all of you guys. I just want to say a big thanks to all of you guys and your sense of community. It really means a lot to me. So, with all that being said, I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. If I don't see you guys next time, to be more specific, this Sunday or this Monday in the new video, you're going to be dominated, bro. See you later.